Hello, welcome to Puck's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Joe, aka Pucks. Yesterday, Bungie hosted its combat reveal stream on twitch.tv, and we got a sneak preview, maybe not such a sneak preview, a preview of what is to come with Destiny 2 Forsaken, which drops on September 4th. Making a short video here just to kind of give some feedback on what I saw on the stream. I watched about 85 to 90% of it, and what I'm reading sort of on the subreddit here about some of the changes. So just want to highlight a few things that I thought were interesting and that are of note, and just give some kind of personal feedback as someone who has played a whole lot of Destiny and also Destiny 2 over the last few years. So full disclosure here, I watched the stream yesterday, like I said, saw about 85-90% of it given I was at work, and also have spent time just taking a look at the kind of Reddit threads that have popped up on this. In particular, I have the Destiny 2 Forsaken Combat Stream Mega thread open in front of me. I'm just going to kind of tick down the list and give you my thoughts on a couple of the more substantive revisions. I will go out of my way to say that I thought that it was important that Bungie not so subtly made it clear to the audience that changing some of the Crucible mechanics, and parameters is a challenging process, and one that often has consequences that are expected and unexpected. In other words, you change parameter Y, like melee damage, that's going to impact the Crucible experience at large, and maybe in ways that you weren't anticipating. So that's why this isn't as easy as just go into the code of the game, change one or two values in the code of the game, and release a patch that changes the balance. There's a lot going on here, a lot of levers being pulled, a lot of different issues to consider and think about, and some you may have thought of when you were starting the testing process, and others kind of reveal themselves over time. So I thought Bungie did that for a particular reason, most likely to get folks on Reddit to understand that this is not as easy as the average gamer maybe thinks. So I thought that was interesting. All right, so let's get into this list then. One-hit shoulder charges, fine by me. Okay, particularly if we have things like 3-tap hand cannons coming back. You know what? If you can counter it, I don't have an issue with that. That doesn't offend me in any blatant way. 2-hit melee system, I think, is right. I think that is right. When you kind of gut check yourself, playing Halo, another Bungie series, the kind of the 2-hit melee system that kind of very prevalent in that, not at all times, but for the most part, it just feels right. Okay, and there are many instances that I can think of playing Destiny 2 where you're like really scratching your head. Like, really? It takes me 3 melees to defeat this enemy. That doesn't seem right. 2-hit melee just feels right, and I think that is a good change. 3-tap hand cannon kills, specifically 2-body 1-head. Because don't forget, we have the aggressive archetype, which in Destiny 2 already is a 3-tap kill, but you have to hit 3 crits. This is going to change that, at least for the aggressive 110 archetype. So we have to kind of see how this plays out in the grand scheme of things, how the other archetypes are addressed. Particularly on console, the 110s are difficult to use, very difficult to land 3 crits on a consistent basis. So someone like me who uses hand cannons uses the 150 or the 140, and we don't know exactly how those are going to shake out just yet. So we have to kind of get our hands on that. That'll be important. But in theory, in principle anyway, 2-body, 1-head, 3-tap hand cannon sounds on paper like a good change to me, and I look forward to that. Bungie also talked about the weapon system. Kind of, it's not D1. It's not. Okay, it's I think a hybrid of the D1 and the D2 systems. But again, on paper, seems like a step in the right direction for someone like me that would be interested in running some kind of hand cannon sniper and then some kind of heavy loadout. It seems like on paper it would be good. This is one of those where I feel like, again, in principle, it seems like the right answer. I think it's going to be something that we have to get our hands on and actually use in the wild to kind of see whether or not it is actually a good change. I'm reluctant to just say, oh yeah, on paper this seems perfect. I mean, I think you're potentially going to see issues that you maybe are not thinking of, and that I'm not going to articulate right now because I don't know what they are. I think it's just something that we have to get our hands on. We have to use. We have to see how people use the system, what kind of loadouts become prevalent, and what impact those may have on the game. On a related note, we also have the revised mod system. So, again, combined with the random rolls, I think is going to be a step in a positive direction there. Okay, we've got things like Icarus returning. We've got other counterbalance mods that are going to be applied, combined with random rolls that may give you range and give you other perks. I think that will be generally a good thing. Now, I mean, look, the thing that no one mentions when they talk about this is that, hey, random rolls are great, but there's always going to be one or two that are considered like God tier or the best that you can get. So it's a little bit of a red herring in the sense that, right now we know what the guns are. We know what perks they're going to drop with. We know that X gun is better than Y gun, mostly because of, whether it's the archetype or whether the perks that it has. All this is doing, random rolls is doing, is kind of shifting that analysis to, within the gun itself. Now this gun, the variation of this roll of this weapon is better than this roll of this weapon. And you kind of end up, I think, in a very similar place. But the community wanted it, and I think the community is going to get what it asked for, and we'll see what happens. All right, so those are my thoughts. If you enjoy the video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel for future content. We've got Destiny, and we have Fortnite videos here. You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can find links to all those social media places, all those social media platforms in the video description. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. Let me know what you think. I'll see you soon. I'm out.